All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to do our daily Bitcoin and Bitcoin miner update. Today, I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to put a little more emphasis on the Bitcoin miners and not so much charting on the Bitcoin today. So we cover Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners all the time on this channel. If that is content that you're interested in, please remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Also, if everybody could please smash the like button, it helps get this video out to a lot more people. We did a challenge last week. We got to 300 likes on one video, and that really helped. Every video since then has had more success, so I really appreciate your help. Thank you for your likes and your comments and all the above. Okay, so let's get to Bitcoin. I'm going to start out with the Bitcoin miner big board. The trading is over for the day today, so you're going to see this was almost all red. There were a few outliers that were green today. Now, Bitcoin itself, when we get to the chart, you're going to see it was only down a little bit. The equity markets were down quite a bit today. So it looks like the miners followed the equity markets a little bit more than they did Bitcoin itself today. So let's just take a look. There were some significant down movers. Let's take a look at the outliers first. Iris Energy, stock ticker IREN, was up 1%, so that was in the green. Mawson, stock ticker MIGI, was up 2.88%. That was in the green. Those were the only two in the green. Now, Mawson, as I'm making this video, they're about to release their earnings, and in about an hour, they're going to have their conference call. So I'll be listening to that. So it looks like this ran up a little bit ahead in anticipation of that, and then we'll have to listen to that and see. Drop me a comment down below if you guys want to have a Mawson deep dive after I listened to their conference call. On the flip side, we had some things that were very red. Bitfarms was down 8%. HUT was down 8%. Hive was down 7%. Cleanspark was down 7%. So those were the big movers to the downside. Everything else was down about 1 or 2 or 3% for the most part. So that's how the day ended. Almost all red today with a couple of outliers. Let's just take a quick look at the equity markets just to show you this is basically where this action came from on the Bitcoin miners, I believe. Okay, so everything red today. The S&P was down 2.14%. The Dow was down 1.91%. The NASDAQ, which we seem to be following the most closely over on Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners, that was down 2.55%. And the Russell was down 2.13%. So basically a 2% move across the board to the downside. So the equities actually did worse than Bitcoin because I'm going to go to the Bitcoin on the 15-minute time frame. If we look at Bitcoin on the 15-minute time frame, as always, there's an orange line from where the market closed last. So that would have been where the U.S. equity markets closed on Friday. So that was at around $21,323 for Bitcoin. We closed today somewhere around $21,000. So we were just about down maybe 1%, maybe 1.2% on the day today. So that was actually just about half what the market was down. So although Bitcoin was only down in that period about 1 or 1.2%, you'll see there were a lot of big movers to the downside, 6, 7, 8%. So this follows Friday, which was completely red across the board and down significantly. A lot of 10 to 15% on Friday. So this is back-to-back very red days. Okay, so I want to take a look at the 4-hour chart. I want to explain to you why last week I did call that this relief rally is over. It was almost 2 months long. It was over 40% rally. And I did get a lot of people that I think were a little upset over the weekend. And the thing is, all I can tell you is that I'm reading the graphs. So, you guys can make up your own mind and do your own due diligence. If you think I'm wrong, that's absolutely fine. I'm just telling you what it looks like to me. So again, I always try to tell you this is not financial advice, but if I can just show you on the 4-hour time frame why I thought it was obvious that we broke to the downside. We had an ascending channel here. This goes back to the middle of June. So you can see we were inside of this channel all the way for almost 2 full months. Well, on August 18th, we broke to the downside. When we broke past this purple line, not only did we break outside of this channel we had been in, this ascending channel, but we also formed a lower low. Prior to that, for the last 2 months, we had been forming higher lows and higher highs. So this was the first time we created a lower low, and that is a clear indication that we've broken to the downside. And then you'll see as soon as we did cross that purple line, we went straight down from there. And we have been down there ever since. We basically were sideways all weekend and today, really, all within about 1%, but all significantly outside of the channel that we were trading in. Now, we did find some support. It looks like I had 4 potential lines of support So I just want to go through what those were real quickly. The first one, this was my most optimistic line, which I do not believe is going to be where we land. So the blue line's at $20,718. It does look like we found some support over the weekend, and we remain just a little bit above that line even right now. So, if all goes well, maybe that was the end, and this is the shortest bear market ever, and we go back up into this trading channel. I don't think that's going to happen. So I have a few other price targets. I'm just going to reiterate them today. This pink line is just under $20,000. So that was the high from the previous bull cycle 4 years ago in Bitcoin. So that got up to just under $20,000. And so for that reason, and in addition to that, $20,000 is kind of a psychological line of support. I do think there's a reasonable chance this could be our low and we bounce off of this line. But the line that I am most targeting is this green line right here, and that is at around $19,200. So that dates all the way back to about July 4th, and then we did find some more support again on July 12th. So if we hit that line from top to bottom, this will be just under a 24% drop off. So about 24, 25%, that makes sense to me. Yes, we could go lower. I do have one more line. We could retest our low that we hit in the middle of June. So that was around 17,500. That's this red line right here. So in order to do that, that would be a 30% pullback. So that is also possible. My personal target is this green line at around 19,200, but we will see. Any one of those lines of support could hold, or we could go right through all of them, as you guys know, depending on world events and other things. But to me, those are the likely scenarios, so I just wanted to point that out on the 4-hour time frame. I think it makes it very obvious why I've called the end of the relief rally, in my opinion. So, you don't have to share that opinion if you don't want to. I want to take a look at a few of the Bitcoin miners in specific, because I think some of them are reaching an interesting level. Okay, I'm going to start with Marathon, because I want to compare and contrast a little bit. So Marathon had the biggest run up out of all of the Bitcoin miners over this 2-month rally that we had. So you'll see from the bottom on July 1st until the top somewhere around August 11th, Marathon ran up about 270+%. So that was a gigantic run. It was significantly more. It was more than 100% the second best Bitcoin miner. As of the close of the day today, we've pulled back about 32% on Marathon, but I am less tempted to start dollar cost averaging in on Marathon because we did just have a 273% run up. So a 30% pullback in the face of a 270% run up, to me, we have not found the balance yet. So I'm not looking at this one as a buying opportunity, but I did want to show it to you to contrast the couple that I do think, for me, are going to be in areas where I'm going to consider dollar cost averaging in. Okay, the first one is Bitfarms. So if we do the same analysis from the bottom on July 1st until its peak on August 15th, Bitfarms was up 118%. So again, remember, Marathon was up 273%. So this did more than double. That was an excellent run up. But from the high just a few days ago until where we are today, we are now down 40% off of those highs. So to me, that's a little bit more balanced. This $1.50 line represented significant resistance for a long time. As soon as we broke above this line, we ran right up to this local high. So we've now broken below this line. So for me, this whole area in between these two lines, that's where I'm considering doing some dollar cost averaging in. So again, this is not financial advice. You guys don't have to do what I do. So I added a green line right here in the middle. This was a low that we hit on July 26th. So that's kind of a middle point. So that's where I'd like to average in. And then if we go below that, I'll probably average in again if we make it all the way down to this 2-year low, which basically this was. We got down to $1.04. That is the entire year of 2021 and the entire year of 2022. That was the lowest point Bitfarms has been at. So if we revisit that, I'll buy in again. If we go below that, I'll probably dollar cost average in again. So, okay, Cleanspark from the bottom to the top on July 5th through August 11th, that was an 81% run up. That was by far less than average. There were 6 or 7 Bitcoin miners, maybe even 8 or 9, that were up 100% or more. Cleanspark was not one of them. You can see this was about an 81% run up. So this ran up less than the other Bitcoin miners. At the same time, this is down about 37% from August 11th until today. So that's about a week and a half. So it's pulling back basically in unison with all the other Bitcoin miners, but it didn't have near the run up. I think that, in my opinion, CleanSpark and Bitfarms have had the best monthly operational updates. Now, there's a lot of other factors that go into all this, but to me, I've been very impressed with their operational updates. I like what they're doing. So this is a position I'm trying to grow. I don't expect these Bitcoin miners to hit new lows and take out their previous lows from, back in July, but it is possible, I suppose. So I'm not giving any upside targets because I'm expecting for the next couple of weeks, I'm still expecting some downward pressure for the rest of this to play out. So obviously, if I'm wrong about that, then I won't get any of these buying opportunities, and so be it. And that's how I do this. I set a price target and I make a plan, and if we don't hit those price targets, then I just simply don't get to dollar cost averaging. I'm gonna leave it at that for today. That is my Bitcoin and Bitcoin miner update. I tried to spare you guys a lot of the detailed chart analysis, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please remember to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again in the next video.